this point. Alright. Welcome everyone to commentary for the NXTGEN GT3 World Tour Pro-Am alongside none other than TMK444, who I will be joining shortly. Yep, there it is. That is our party invite. So I'll be getting him on comms with me in a second. He is also streaming, so I will link that in the chat, and we'll get this underway. Let me just copy that. There we go. Let's get involved, shall we? Yep. Hello. Yeah, just pretty good. I've just seen your thing of can you join chat, so here's your answer. Yes.
To action with Trek 2 today. We're doing comms, Rue, for round 13 of NXTGEN's GT3 World Tour. We've got the Pro and the AM class running on track today. Yep, Christian's joining us as well.
Yep. Hello everyone.
Here to provide a second set of eyes. And, maybe we get some more track knowledge today. But yeah, we'll see how that one goes. It is an interesting track because I didn't actually know it existed till not long ago because I haven't really been following F1, although I have got into it now and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. But obviously they also use it for GT3 as well, so here we are. And I believe we're just over a minute away from the qualifying session to start, so we'll run through the current standings from the Pro and AM class. French Tesco's car park, is there one of these nearby? Is there? "60 seconds left to go."
Oh.
Kobe currently taking the fastest time with 1:54.156, but I do believe NXTGEN Elliot Hankin has joined the pit crew. The Audi team has arrived with their trucks and unloaded. He is now officially on the grid here for round 13 with 20 seconds remaining before qualifying starts. We'll have to try triple comms, Rue.
Oh,
it does look like Tesco.
Brilliant.
Still out on track is the 909. Wanted to finish his lap. Practice session before the official qualifying starts, and we've got Matev also out on track, just the two cars here today. And like I said before, it's good to really get to know there's a human being behind each one of these cars, battling it out with their force feedback and it's good to get to know the drivers, get a little bit of a bond the more you watch, and there's always action as well with these with motorsport in general. But we'll see what we're trekked to today for round 13. And it looks like he is entering.
Green light, give us all you can.
The pits. Oh, we've gone from.
Here we go.
Today. Interesting.
Qualifier is the first one out. Number 22 McLaren.
Yes.
Or
Kobe
is that number
is the
7?
number 7 McLaren.
Number 7 McLaren.
Yes. Mamster in the GT3 Audi. In pursuit. Some very interesting corner names here as well for Paul Ricard as they now go through Virage du Camp and to the right hander of Virage de la Sainte-Baume. So that's going to be a tough one to say. Once battling side by side by Virage de la Sainte-Baume. But this very long, incredible, clearly built for F1 use. Gonna have to really think about what kind of setups each driver is wanting as well, because obviously less downforce, more speed, which will benefit you here, but then obviously your corner speed is compromised, and it is a fairly, not necessarily complex, but I do think you probably gain time if you did have the extra aero, because it does require some high speed corners. Well, you'd have to just watch it on YouTube. So Kobe in the number 7 McLaren. I'm going to currently read out the current standings for the Pro and AM class. Crosses that start-finish line and completes his outlap. As his Mamster comes to the start-finish line. And we have the number 78 Lexus Ruptivo making his way. Double Droit du Besut. Interesting. I'm sure that's not how it's pronounced, but these are very complex corner names. Corbeil du Galaban. Virage to point. So the final corner is Virage to point, and he crosses the start finish line, completing his outlap. Everyone was grey though, I've noticed. 460 next to cross Nali. I don't know, Mercedes. So it does appear that Hankin on his outlap. It does appear that Kobe is going to be first to cross that start finish line, so we will just jump on board for the final moments as he makes the final sector of Paul Ricard's circuit. Getting an onboard view here. And, it necessarily does it justice, especially if you're watching it on your phone. But there is a fair bit of camber. It's a very smooth road. It's definitely not built by the English.
It's too wide to be an English road.
Indeed, crosses that start-finish line with a 155.4, currently provisional P1. Yes, that will soon change, either by his own skill or others, but Matev 428, let's cross by the number 78, Ruptivo, making his way up to Village de Tours. and the final DuPont. And up to that start-finish line. Is he going to take P1 away from Kobe? No. It's 9.48. 4:20 Porsche. It's going to be next across as he makes his way through Bendor, through Galaben, into the left-hander of the Tour, into the final of DuPont. Crossing that start-finish line. Is he going to take P1, 2 or 3 here today? Just under 15 minutes of a qualifying session left to go. He puts himself in P3, meaning legendary Lampy next to cross. The start finish line. I'm just going to get the scoreboard up for you boys, girls.
Lampy's Ferrari did look very quick down the straights. So hopefully you can keep it under control through the corners.
It's a very different track with regards to what I guess we're used to with these sorts of driving.
He has put it on pole. 0.7 seconds ahead of Coalfighter.
There we go. Kobe side by side with Lampy, but Lampy inches ahead with a 154.753 and a 0.735 separating P1 and 2.
So Gnarly Pop will be the next to set a time in the 460 McLaren. I've just seen what Ree's put. The width is reserved for cycle paths. He's not wrong.
So we've got this 45. Mr. Wilco in the most beautiful Ferrari GT3, it must be said. Yeah, look at that thing.
That is quite lovely.
As he makes his way through the points and up to that start finish line, under 30 minutes of racing time left to go, putting himself in P5, Mateva 2.8, Buptiva 1.6, and Kobe in the number 7 McLaren a 0.7 off Lampy's 154.753. And Lampy is
Coalfighter is spun. Going through the second to last corner, he's put his foot down just a little bit too hard.
Yeah, depending on your traction control, it can be. This is what's so interesting and so amazing about this game. Everything is just fine-tuned to your sort of driving skill, but when you're pushing it to the absolute limit, in cars that are designed to go past the limit, when you really get to that biting point, it bites. And fortunately, it's just into the pits. No damage was caused. Back out, see whether he can regain that first grid, as that's now occupied by Misha in the 909 Mercedes with a 639.
Lampy
51 Ferrari.
also improving on his time, going up, improved by 0.3 seconds.
Yes, so it was a 735, wasn't it, with Kobe now? 1.077. Only 1 second and a tenth. Jamo in the pits, receiving the pits, Mateva 3.4. Who've we got next for? And Mamster yet to put a time down, so we'll see what he can do. Was we can actually see the speed he's doing on board there, 280 kilometers per hour. it's a very well-made track. I have noticed that. It's still easy to push it past that limit, especially with the incredible downforce that these GT3 cars actually have. Because really, all the time comes from downforce, not extra power. Being able to keep the car sticking itself through the corners.
MV coming through the final corner, 1 second green as he comes onto the final straight.
P4 for Mamster.
Here's P1 in the 909 Mercedes.
Go, so time to meet the standings for you boys and girls. So we'll start off with Pro Lobby. And the 909 Mercedes is currently P3 in the standings with 209 points. Actually is side by side with Nicolo with identical 209 points, although Nicolo cannot make tonight's race, so that does mean that is going to give the 909 Mercedes a significant advantage. The leader of the Pro Lobby is Mr. Lampy. And the 51 Ferrari, Nicolo P2, Misha P3, Kobe's P4 with 175 points. Amster with 164. And the GOAT. Oh, big slide for Mamster there. That's what I like about Mamster though. He's always pushing, he's always trying to get the absolute best, and he's a quick dude, but nevertheless, hanking in the number 44. Audi, the GT3 GOAT is P6 with 147 points. Jammer with 136. Rupativo with 66. In the AM lobby, Matev currently leading in 420 Porsche. He's gone from black and grey and green to black and grey and blue.
Very unfortunate for Hankin, being caught up in a little bit of traffic coming through the first technical section of the track.
Behind Matter is I Wilco with 182 points. Nali currently in P3 here at Paul Ricard. Beautiful. Shall we say bronze. McLaren takes P3 with 164 points. Mr. Gibbs into that. That was a shame. And I think that means we are up to date with those that are on track today. Hello, Mr. Stewart. How are we doing, good sir? It's a pleasure to see you. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for popping in. 2.5 seconds for the 420 Porsche, the 405 Ferrari next across as the 460 McLaren currently on board with 6 minutes left to go here at Paul Ricard. Makes his way through the final DuPont and up to that start finish line. Can he improve on an already quick time? No, he cannot. Next across is the number 7 McLaren. They're identical GT3 McLarens here, purposely built for GT3 racing as well, which is an interesting sort of backstory here for the McLarens.
Puts into P4, improving by 0.4 seconds.
A few drivers in the pits as well. Yet to put time down. He just wants to start from the back here today. see what you can do, but it'll be interesting to see exactly what battles we've got today. It is usually the 909 Mercedes fighting out with the number 28 Lexus Nicolo, but Nicolo can't make it. Kobe taking the quickest line possible there. Up to Legendre du Mistral.
Retavia. Retavia. P7 in the 78 Lexus improves by 0.4 seconds, maintaining 7th position. Repard. Oh, no. I'm so sorry for butchering your name like that.
Right at 460 next across 468, separating himself between the 909 Mercedes in provisional P1 as he goes through the final right-hander of DuPont and hurls his way, applying close to 600 horsepower up to that start-finish straight crosses. I'm actually looking at Kobe there. Still at P4. Mamster next to cross. We'll just jump on board with Mamster as he makes his way through Corb du Garbelan. Okay, Elliot Hankins still to put time down. He goes to the right-hander of Corb de Scenes. I'm sure they're probably wrong, but that's what we're going to call them today. He goes to the double droit du Bassu. Into the left-hander of Virage du Bendor. To the long but open right-hander Corb du Gab Laban into the left-hander of Virage Dilator in the final Virage du Point. What can the 44 Audi do here today with just under 3 minutes of qualifying left to go? Putting himself in 8th place, 1.8 off the pace. And Misha 154.2, Lampy 2/10, nearly on the dot off the pace. With the 909 Mercedes as he comes up through the final sector here. See whether he can gap P2 even more. Gnarly 0.468, Kirby 657, Mamster 1.5 seconds. Top four are very close to each other. Most of the track width there. Elliot Hankin on another run. A lot of camber there as well. Really want to be balancing the car as much as possible, applying that throttle as smoothly as you possibly can.
Very nice exit from there. And that exit alone being 0.4 seconds from his personal best.
His way to that start finish 1.806.
Up into 55.
0.6 of a second is scrubbed off, and That puts him side by side with Mamster in the identical Audis. Identical McLarens taking up the P3 and 4 spots. Over next to cross point 657, can he improve? Yes, taking a 10th nearly off his time. And now Mercedes, can he improve? .54.2, not able to capitalise, and that means that drivers are on the final lap. But Nali, is Misha. Yeah, she's actually on another lap. You can get another lap in, so we've got the 460. McLaren Nali in P3, front of the second row there. 0.4 of a second away from 154.2. Hey, how's it going, Dirk? Thanks for popping in. The Mercedes sounds awesome.
It does.
Well.
Oh, just running wide, gnarly pop, and the McLaren.
Yeah, that's going to be the pits for him, so we'll jump on board with the leader and we'll get the best shot we can. So you can turn it up, Dirk, and listen to the roar in full glory, and I believe it was about 280 kilometers there. Very smooth. And through the final corner of Dew Point, up to the start-finish line, 154.2 and a 154.186 for the 909 Mercedes. What do you think to that, Christian?
Brilliant. That's
absolute godlike
that is
performance there. We'll see what he can do with his race pace though, because I don't know whether the times are going to change again, but race pace is one thing. One spin can be detrimental. Tyre pressures, so much to consider here. So it's an exciting one as we get ready for that green for the formation lap here for round 13 at Paul Ricard.
Ourselves a reference photo.
Okay, so take a quick photo. Of those qualifying times. And we've got Lampy, the 51 Ferrari, unsurprisingly side by side with the 909 Mercedes. It's going to be an interesting one to see how the mid-engine Ferrari plays out today with the front-engined, rear-mounted V8 of the Mercedes AMG. They're side by side, so Lampy will be on the right, I assume, to go into turn one. But if they can keep it, it is a set of right-hand corners. So if you're on the right and you can keep it there, it'll be an interesting one to see how this one progresses. Quite a lot of space here today.
Ooh.
As drivers, oh my
Nighttime
eyeballs
race.
are grateful. My eyeballs are grateful.
Yeah, Lampy on the right, being in an MR car as well, very high possibility of managing to hold it around the outside.
Yes, well, we are on board with the 909 Mercedes AMG. as we wait for the green of the formation lap here at the wonderful Paul Ricard circuit, and I can actually already feel my heart rate already increasing. It genuinely does. There is always action going on. Points are on the table, and we've got different conditions. There's lots to consider here. Just behind the 909 Mercedes circuit, Paul Ricard is Nally in the 460 McLaren side by side with another identical GT3 McLaren, Kobe Mamster on the tail of Kobe there. And we'll see exactly how lap one plays out. Like I say, I think this track is fast, of course, but there's a lot of space. So I think as long as drivers don't overshoot their markings, I don't know whether they need to put the lights on as well, do they? But
I'm sure they'll come on when they put their engines up in about 30 seconds time or so.
Indeed, I do like the front lights of the Mercedes AMG as well.
Yes.
The LED bar. DuPont. It's a large chemical company. Oh, is that corner named after the company DuPont? They invented Teflon. Oh, that corner is responsible for Teflon.
20 seconds.
And nylon.
Lights are now coming on as we are 10 seconds away from that green for the formation lap here at Paul Ricard. Well, it's a shame we haven't got Nicolo on here today, but it's going to be interesting to see exactly how it plays out. We had a pretty huge moment at Spa. The 909 Mercedes is not hanging about.
Absolutely. He's gone.
So we get a beautiful shot there of all cars. Accelerating for the formation lap. Through the S's. And into the right-hander of Raj de la Hotel. And into the next right-hander of Viraj Ducamp. Raj de la Saint Bayou, and onwards to the very long. It'll be interesting to know. I don't know whether you could actually find out for me, Christian, how long this straight actually is. I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but Ligne Droit du Mistral.
It's 1.8 kilometers.
1 Jesus Christ. 8. Oh, that's like the small Brands Hatch, isn't it?
Yeah, 1.1 mile long straight.
That's insane. That is insane. That is literally a small circuit at Brands Hatch, I'm sure. Daniel Hempy with a good look to the GT3 drivers here at Paul Ricard. Is it Lampy?
Yep.
Ensuring his tyres are up to temperature.
Brands Hatch Indy is 1.9 kilometers in total.
Wow. How amazing that the length of this track is the size of Brands Hatch. That's insane. That's genuinely insane. glad you like them, Dirk, and I'm sure they're completely and utterly wrong. And there's maybe even some French people listening to me thinking, what an absolute idiot. But nevertheless, they are going to be called what they are going to be called tonight. As we now make our way through the double droit de Vassou. Hope you like that one. Into the left-hander of Virage de Bandor. As we check the 909 Mercedes out from the 360-degree GoPro camera, now connected to the rear of the GT3's. Most of his tire temperatures, it seems here, as it goes into the long right-hander of Corbeil du Galaban. Maybe like the stand of the GT3 here. With the GoPro camera 360. As all drivers now line up as we get ready for NXTGEN's Season 4, Round 13 here at Paul Ricard.
Green light, green light.
And
Go,
we
go,
get
go.
the green. All drivers slamming their acceleration down 600 horsepower and thereabouts for each of the GT3 cars as they come up to the first left-hander here at Paul Ricard. Just making sure, hearts in my mouth at the minute, making sure all drivers...
everyone's got through.
Yes, that's it. From the radar, it appears as though all drivers are still on track. Lampy in pursuit. And we've got lots of drivers side by side. Elliot hanging all over this. Matev looks like he's lost a few positions there. So makes his way through the right hand corner. Mapster being chased by Jammer in the number 98 Ferrari. And pursuit 120 Porsche. It appears as though Elliot Hankey now finding his way in 5th position, chasing the 460 McLaren as he makes his way down. I'm going to call this the Brands Hatch Straight. And all drivers are well and truly within slipstream range. Nally looks as though he initially wants to put pressure on Kobe in P3 podium position. All drivers running wide there as they come into the right hander of the Brands Hatch Straight, and it appears as though that's going to be a track warning for a few of the drivers there. They're going to have to be careful with that for an hour's worth of driving, but still no positions have changed. Jumping up on the P2, it looks like Lampy's taking that position from 909 Mercedes.
So we've had a position change of Lampy taking P1, Coal Fighter taking early P3 through the first set of corners. The Matev has gained a position on the 78 Lexus, and Lucan Lucas has gained a position on Swilco.
Lucan 316, he is here. Happy days.
Yeah, he joined with 5 minutes of qualifying left.
Perfect. Happy days. He is on board.
He's managed to get in.
Mr. Tokyo Drift. Just see whether Elliot Hankey didn't do anything here as he chases down the McLaren in front. The 2 McLarens in P3 and 4. Occupying P3 as Nally, 460 identical. McLaren GT3 makes its way down Brands Hatch Straight. 0.767. That is slowly creeping away from P1 and P2 here. As they make their way down Ligne Droit du Mistral and into the right hander of Corbe des Scenes. Probably completely.
We've been butchering them the whole stream, it's fine. Just
butchering, that's the word, yeah, absolutely butchering them, but nevertheless, that is increasing the time between P1 and P2. It's going to be interesting though to see exactly how this plays out, because this seems to happen a lot with Lampy. Sometimes he gets, whether it's the tyres or his damage, but sort of a familiarity that he begins to slow down towards the last 15 minutes. Anyways, we'll see whether that happens today. Let's make the way through DuPont.
Do we know what the slipstream range is on this game?
The what, sorry?
The slip range.
No.
Alright, I'll take a look.
It does appear as though the 44 Audi MP5 is in the tail end of the slipstream of the 460 McLaren, and it looks as though we are safe to just jump on board for a few moments. As we see Jamo in pursuit of Elliot Hankin in the Audi, jump on board with helmet cam, the GoPro helmet cam, up into third gear as he makes his way up to Ligne Droit du Mistral, and hopefully we'll maybe be in this slipstream. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. If we just stay on board, and whether we'll begin to pull McLaren back in 5.2 litre V10.
Seems to be slipstream is anywhere below a second to the car in front.
Oh!
Lollipop. Very wide.
Oh my good god. Incredible. It looked as though the car in front perhaps take a different line, perhaps. I'm not so sure. Meaning Nali taking evasive action and nearly losing spot, but what he has done is he's compromised quite a bit of time to himself, so his P4 position is now well and truly under threat from the 44 Audi GT3 GOAT that is Elliot Hankin, and Jamo also gaining some time there between 5 and P4. Misha now is second. Kobe seems as though he may have a problem with his car. P1 3.7 seconds, himself and Kobe P2. We are going to have to jump on board with the fight for P4.
Seems that the 909 Mercedes ran wide on the right-hander coming from the Brands Hatch straight, which caused Kobe to have to take some evasive action, as well as Gnarly Pop.
Interesting. Well, what that means is Kobe, Misha, Gnarly, Elliot Hankin and Jamo are all within shot of P2. So the fight for P2 is 5 cars and they're all within slipstream range, and Mamster is just in the back of the camera shot there. So they make their way through a very fast right-hander.
All 5 of them so close together.
Gotta be honest though, how beautiful is the stars? Going away too much from the racing, as it appears as Elliot Hankin has actually caught up on that set of corners, go through the final DuPont and across that start finish line. We're just going to stay on board with the GoPro cam on the rear of the McLaren as the Audi continues to chase his way down. Elliot Hankin is back up to his usual tricks, in, out, already applying pressure to the McLaren, and already taking a different line, making Gnarly think, putting him under pressure. Where is he? Is he going to be on the inside? And it's I like that kind of driving, because it really does put the other driver under a serious amount of stress, depending on how the driver can tolerated, but it does. But there we go, and now it's just a little bit wide there. It only takes your mind to just drift for that millisecond, and it's that much now. And Elliot Hankin is going side by side. We have a drag race between McLaren and Audi. Jamo watching all of this unfold, but now he does have the inside line, which might not be the best situation. Jamo looks like he's got a pretty good one there. It looks as though Jamo making a move on Elliot Hankin. Nearly, I don't know whether Elliot Hankin didn't get the best of runs there. Up to Viraj Di Bendor. Oh, it's a cracking fight we've got here between McLaren, Audi and Ferrari.
Yeah. It seemed Elliot couldn't get the exit from the right-hander with the McLaren sort of in the way on the inside, which caused Jamo to gain quite significantly.
Yes, 0.7777 himself. So that's to update. We're about to cross the start finish line. It's racing left to go. Jamo 6 of a second. Away from Elliot Hankin, 0.4 of a second. So, did you say what the slipstream was? Sorry.
Underneath a second.
Interesting. So that is quite a big window.
Yes.
Matev 0.9 of a second, so he's going to be just in the tail end of Slipstream, chasing down the front engine to 78 Lexus in P8. Onto Brands Hatch, and all drivers following each other for Slipstream there. Matev just losing Slipstream as he fights for championship lead in the AM class of the GT3.
Matev, yes. He lost a lot of time through the right-hander going out of the Brands Hatch straight. And just running that little bit too deep.
I just had to jump back on board with Elliot Hankin there because I just realised we're coming up to the right-hander and they are all so close. We've got an incredible fight for P4 here. Race leader now in P3, one away from Kobe, leading at P2 in the number 7 McLaren. So just the other drivers make their way for the penultimate sector here. Elliot Hankin is now under fire from another Ferrari who's taking action as they come up to T1. Whether that's going to compromise the Audi's line, but if he gets the good right-hander here, most crucial exit point. So he's just begun to gap him there, but now out of slipstream range between P4 and the 460 McLaren in P4. But Jamo, especially for season 3 of NXTGEN's GT3 World Tour, was doing an incredible job, and he's most certainly one of the drivers that has come on, as well as Nali. You can see that the time spent on this racing sim has paid its due. I'm sure they'll only get better. Lucan exactly just within or just without of slipstream range, a pixel in or a pixel out of slipstream. As he hunts down the 420 Porsche P9. Thank you, Rue. Mr. Tokyo Drift, pit connoisseur. See what he can do and see whether he can advance his way. Through Paul Ricard, and I do think that Paul Ricard is quite. It's not as demanding as so many lefts and rights and quick changes. It's all about, it's almost Daytona-like in the fact that it's the smooth inputs and keeping the car as stable as possible that's going to get you the quickest time. So it's such a big track. Okay, so the 99 Mercedes is closing the gap between himself and P2. 7 McLaren, and closing again, and now within the slipstream range, beginning the attack. Looks as though he's beginning to find his feet here. Like I said, it's always some action with these races. Elliot Hankins still in pursuit of Nally, but now 2.2 seconds separating himself and Nally. Jamo only a second, just out of slipstream range between himself and P5 of Elliot Hankins, the number 44 Audi GT3. Mamster in P7, 4.4 seconds separating himself and P6 of Jamo. And Upsivo in P8, Matev P9, Hukan Lukan just out of slipstream range of Matev in the 420 Porsche. And Wilco, loving life and getting as much track time as possible. She'll only pay its dues in good time. But it looks as though Lampy, if he can keep this up, see if we have any more dramas, see what happens to tyre temps. Just let's see what kind of clock we've got, whether they end up at the end of the race in daytime. And although Lampy is 3 seconds up the road, it's not really that far up the road if you check it out from the helicam.
He's lost 0.7 seconds in that sector to KB.
I think we're all very close.
Looks like Hankin and Jamo are maintaining their 0.7, 0.8 gap to each other. Hukan Lukan is now on the tail end of Matev.
Yes, it looks as though he's beginning to find his feet. Now putting the attack on the Porsche ahead. Running a little bit wide there, getting excited with a potential kill just ahead. As most of the drivers are on Brands Hatch as we speak. It's very interested to see how this plays out, because the pit stops are always extremely crucial.
Yes.
And it looks as though he's got a pretty good run here.
Oh, Jamo closing right up to Hankin.
Yes, indeed, making their way through the penultimate sector here at Port Ricard through DuPont and up to that start-finish line. 40 minutes of racing left to go. That pit window is going to be open soon, though, and that's always a very interesting and crucial point. As we just jump back on board with Hukan Lukan, who is right on the tail end. Of the Porsche.
Oh, the 99 Mercedes caught up to KB as well.
Wow, 0.6.
And
of
posing.
a second, and in slipstream range as they come up to curve descends into the right-hander. It'll be interesting. I do wonder whether some of the drivers will be stuck with a drive-through penalty for exceeding track limits, which will be crucial to position. So that's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. 360 now separating himself between P2 of the McLaren. He's got the mid-engined purpose-built McLaren versus the Mercedes front-engined rear-mounted V8 of the world-class Mercedes AMG as they make their way through the final DuPont, blast their way to that start-finish line.
Lampy again losing time as well. Almost a second in that last sector.
Interesting, it's already beginning to heat up. .3 seconds now separating 316 Lexus to the 420 Porsche. It's just going past that 100% line, but Rupativo was hot on the heels of Mamster there.
Yeah.
Is he going to make a move? It looks like he's going to go for the inside line. Not quite, but the 420 Porsche is now going to be able to get some free time as they continue to fight it out.
Again, Lampy losing a little bit more time.
Oh, this is going to be a cracking 1.6 of a second. Separating P2 and 3. 0.5 of a second separating P4 to P5. As Hankin catches back up to the 460 McLaren, currently occupying P4 here at Paul Ricard for round 13 of the NXTGEN Season 4 GT3 World Tour.
Oh,
Drive-through
316.
316, there we go. Like I said, I wouldn't expect that one to be the last one either, but like I said, it's going to be detrimental to the ones that are up top.
Maybe he's just slowly chipping away at Lampy.
Even with pressure from the 99 Mercedes as well.
Perhaps a little too much pushing towards the stars burned out the tyres.
Yeah, it's a very interesting one, isn't it? That's what I do love about this simulator, the sort of level of realism and how you've kind of got to incorporate so many different factors. It makes it interesting with regards to strategies for the race. Looks as though he may be on the inside line there, but he's continuing to put the hammer down on the McLaren as they make their way onto Brands Hatch Straight. Matev 0.4 of a second off Rupativo, and Rupativo is only 0.8 of a second off Mamster, all within slipstream range as they make their way to St. Boom.
Coalfighter now only 0.9.
Oh, it's getting hot. Hankins 026 is side by side.
Oh
my good God. No. No. Camera set 1 just didn't catch that.
Hankins number 44.
Oh, come on, stay on track. Come on. Get back on.
Here we go.
Okay. Well, that means Nally P4, Jamo P4.
Oh, there was a contact between the two going into that final corner. Very unfortunate.
Yes, and the 460 McLaren just recovering from a 360 spin there, and now hot on the heels is the number 98 Ferrari. We've got the two mid-engined GT3s battling it out as the pit window is going to open in just under 90 seconds.
Yeah. Just a slight miscalculation. It's very unfortunate for Hankin.
Very. Nevertheless, the show must go on. 0.7 of a second now separating P1 to P2, and 0.5 separating P2 to P3. The fight for P1 and 2 is most certainly on.
Maybe now 0.3 seconds from Lampy.
Oh, Lampy! Fortunately, because of the ingenious tarmac runoff, the car can get back on, and now he's in between the McLaren and Mercedes. We've got McLaren, Ferrari and Mercedes now all battling it out as the fight for P1 and 2 continues. Absolutely incredible scenes here for round 13 of Paul Ricard. I don't know whether Lampy's just suffering from the end of an aggressive setup perhaps, but the pit window is seconds away from opening. I think he's going to have to complete another lap. He can pit on the next lap perhaps, but it appears as though the Mercedes is now beginning to put pressure. There we go, just as they pass the pit as well. As we follow the number 51 Ferrari, who is leading the majority of this race up to the halfway point. We've got the pit window now open. The 909 Mercedes, who was race leader from qualifying, is now in P3. But some incredible turn of events happening here. They make their way through Ducamp. God, I tell you what, 280 kilometers per hour. You do get up there fast. And Lampy is going to be trying. Yes, he's going side by side with the number 909 McLaren. He's gone wide again. He's going to keep control. He has kept control, but he has lost a position, and that's now put him from P1 to P2 to P3. Are we going to see him pit, though, is the question as they come up to the final sector here at Paul Ricard. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. What decision and strategy is he going to play out here as he comes up to the final corners up towards the pit window? I'm going to assume he's going to take the pits.
Yeah, it's rather ingenious actually the way they've done the runoff. The friction surface, isn't it? It's like it behaves
makes
like
so much sense.
It slows them down as much as grass and gravel, but it's obviously you can get the cars keep their momentum a lot better, and it's a lot safer.
Makes so much sense. Not ruining gravel.
Yeah.
100-mile-an-hour sideways into gravel, like ugh.
Lampy is in the pits.
Yes, he is. There's going to be an adjustment with some of the. That is a tactic that he may need to change some tyre temperatures, for instance. But I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Oh, you've missed some right action, Roo. Seen it. That past 10-15 minutes has been constant action.
Yeah.
As Kobe now battles it out for P1 slot against the 909 Mercedes. I'm sure Misha will be wanting to get some renown here today at Paul Ricard. Matev in the pits as well. 1.1 seconds separating P1 and P2.
Lampy now exiting the pits.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see. I'm just going to stay on board with Paul, the Helicam man, as he follows the number 909 Mercedes, chase the number 7 McLaren. Right here at Paul Ricard, I just want to see exactly when they decide to go into the pits.
I'm going to hold with Lampy because the early stop and the fresher tyres may help him regain that pole position.
Yes. There's a lot to be said for the undercut, especially in an hour's race, because it is more of a sprint. But both drivers are staying out.
And a track such as this, which is very all-rounder. It's like you've got obviously the very long straight, but you've got very high speed and mid-speed corners through sectors 1 and 4.
You do. Nearly 14 seconds off pace. Misha 2.4 separating Jamo to Nali. Four drivers in and out the pits, 2 drivers in the pits, and 4 remaining. Wonder whether they will pit here as we now come up to the halfway mark. Of the race here at Paul Ricard. Such a long sweeping set of corners. But he is hot on the heels of Kobe. Must be said, it'll be interesting to see whether one pits and one stays out. It's Vines, Rue, Christian.
Yes. Hello, Rue. Very
hot on the heels. Both drivers into the pits. It looked like they were playing my games there. Sorry, go on.
Very appreciative of Rue's comment. Yeah, both drivers in, so have to keep an eye on Lampy. Also, Rue, if you head over to my stream, I've showed the replays of the overtakes and the incident.
And both drivers stopped. The 909 was first to stop. I am going to stay on board because I want to see exactly how this plays out, because it looked as though, although the McLaren was in first, Mercedes stopped within a fraction of a tenth quicker perhaps. But it'll be interesting to see what happens here as Gemma also enters the pits, engine off. And is out. And he's taken Kobe also out of the pits. He's taken that position from Kobe as he exits the pits.
So here comes Lampy as well.
Perhaps, oh my good god.
Perhaps not the undercut he was hoping for, but he has regained a bit of time.
He has tyres that are in working temperature. These boys have at least a full lap to go on the way before they can push. So he may have time to get into the slipstream.
Well, we've also got to look, he did have to pit early, but presumably for tyres overheating, so we'll have to see how it comes to the end of the race as well.
Yes,
if those are going to be overheating maybe 5 minutes too early, that's going to cause some issues.
Okay, so Nally is still left to pit. He is making his way through the penultimate sector.
Yeah, I know, Ray. Don't worry, I understood it, Ray. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't come across properly.
460 McLaren in the pits. 4 seconds. It doesn't appear as though Lampy is going to get that slipstream range in time. Makes his way through the final corner of DuPont. Under the Paul Ricard circuit, hard on the brakes.
Okay, yeah. I was confused. I thought Lampy had lost that. He actually gained 6 seconds using that undercut.
Incredible. It's so incredible. And I was just wondering how it would play out between the McLaren and Mercedes there. It did appear as though the McLaren had his pit stop a little bit better. I mean, there's so much to consider. So again, having it in manual, you can get quicker times. 282.
Did you know it's now closed?
282 kilometers per hour as he enters the right-hand corner there. Do we have any track facts, Christian, that we can pull up for Paul Ricard?
Let's have a look, shall we?
Awesome. Just interesting to know its purpose, origin, and backstories.
So, no, paper shop.
Mr. Wilco allowing P1 and 2 to pass there. The softs are well and truly working to their maximum potential here. McLaren continues to hunt down the Mercedes for Paul Ricard.
Quick one. It was inaugurated in 1970 and held its first F1 Grand Prix in 1971.
1971.
Ooh, and it held the Motorcycle Grand Prix in 1973. I didn't realise motorcycles raced here. Do they still race here?
GP, incredible. Big fan of bikes. Such an adrenaline buzz. Our motorbikes. Imagine the GT3s would give you very big buzz as well, but motorbike from personal experience. But our cars today. Through the final of DuPont, chasing down the race leader 909 Mercedes AMG.
It seems they've, in modern times, they've changed their France GP to the Bugatti circuit at Le Mans for most of the GP.
Right. I've noticed there seems to be quite a few different track formations, especially if you watch from the helicam. So
yeah.
Who can look? Sorry, go on.
It's I've never actually seen any other formation used there. I think they've got 3 formations. Yeah.
Tell you what though, I don't think that McLaren sounds brutal. But looking up from the helicam, I mean, you can even see just from the exit of turn 1 there's already a new track formation. Available Mamster, unfortunately spinning out there as we see Rupert Evo make his way past, as did Matev.
Yeah.
420 Porsche. Another track formation to the right. And another. And another. And another. And another. One to the left. Wow, it'll be really interesting to know the different track formations here.
Seems they've got like a it's probably the circuit they use for MotoGP, actually, the short one. It seems it sort of cuts the turn 1, it goes to the right and then straight onto the long straight, sort of halfway down.
Right.
And then just follows the normal final sector.
While Rupert is still continuing to hunt down Matev in the 420 Porsche as he gets right on the tail end there through the final sector and a corner of Paul Ricard, but it looks as though we get a pretty decent exit there, the 420 Porsche. 0.894 of a second separating P1 to P2. .6. Oh, and running a little bit wide as well as he continues to hunt down and fight for the glory of P1 here today for round 13 of the NXTGEN Season 4 GT3 World Tour. And it looks as though Kobe is wanting to get that position back. He's driving on the new Fanatec DD Pro, double direct drive. And Misha ahead in the 909 Mercedes. Very, very stable driver. And pulling away.
We've also got Rupert Evo right on the bumper of Matev as he comes off of the straight into the final technical section.
Under 20 minutes of racing left to go, just over a second, losing back in just under a second now. Kobe P, one of the 909 Mercedes, just within the tail end of a slipstream, but Rupert Evo continuing to hunt down the 420 Porsche, and again, as Christian said, on the bumper of the 420 Porsche in P6, as they continue to fight it out for the AM class. Ah, the local town scenes. Is it scenes or signs? Scenes.
Is it Scenes. I did do French, but still, yeah.
0.6 of a second, P1 and 2.
Coupe de Scenes.
Different lines here.
Coupe de Seeing or something like that. I don't think they pronounce the ES. And then the GN is like pretty sure Rue actually mentioned how to pronounce that.
Good old Rue. You're our MFF Rue.
Yeah, so the GN sounds like a blocked nose. This is his words, and then they miss off the final part of the word. Like a blocked nose, there it is.
Sons.
Oh! Repetivo going a bit deep into that the top corner.
And losing out on time as well.
Yeah, just how much time? Find out when we cross the next sector line.
Now there's a 6.66 off Lampy.
Yeah, Lampy's been slowly losing time to Kobe and the 909 Mercedes.
Yeah, this is what I said at the beginning of the stream. It always seems to be the final sector sometimes, not I'll say always.
But,
always. Yeah.
Ooh. About 1.5 seconds lost through that little mistake of going wide. Oh, Kobe only 0.2 seconds off.
It'll be interesting to see whether anyone gets stung with a track limits drive-through penalty.
Well, I'm sure they will. Last time you said that, we ended up with Hook and Lucan grabbing the drive-through.
Maximising the use of his force feedback through his wheel on the laser scan track here at Paul Ricard.
What's the delta saying? 0.5. Still very, very close.
UV lights are still on inside the cockpit. Stars are out. Quite able to get on the tail end. Just see, feel almost the tyres working there. Code with some brilliant lines, as is the 909 Mercedes, very, very stable. They continue to battle out for the fight for P1. Of a second, 13 minutes of racing plus 2 go.
Got 3 cars all within a second of each other here.
Yeah.
Matev, Repetivo and Mamster.
Yeah, good. Oh, 0.3 though now, Kobe. Keep making me jump back on.
That is. All 0.7 and 0.6 now with Repetivo and Mamster.
Right, if you could just keep an eye on Kobe and Misha for me, the top runners. I'm just gonna get a helicam shot of the 3 there as they exit Brands Hatch Straight. I'm still running a little bit wide. Repetivo hunting down Matev. It's across the start finish line. Linear. Oh, it's going to be interesting to see what happens as the fight for P1 does continue. Only 11 minutes of racing left to go, plus that final lap. Lampy only a couple of corners behind. Spin-off could mean P2 and 3 for the 51 Ferrari and 460 McLaren.
Deportivo now only half a second off of Matev. So the cone down the long straight as well, and that Lexus does have the better top end. Oh, he's gone for it up the inside. Matev's still there.
Wow! Hamster on the inside, maybe. Was disorientated. Maybe it looks like a little bit.
78 Lexus has got that done. Amazing move.
Yes, that was where.
Very brave.
Hankin had an issue earlier, wasn't it, as well? It's a very fast corner.
Now can Mapster make... Oh,
no,
contact!
Contact! Just couldn't get it stopped in time. But that does mean that Deportivo takes a comfortable P6.
And Mapster has lost a lot of time from returning the position.
Yes, indeed. Johnson would really love to give that position back, not be able to get the car stopped in time there. But nevertheless, they do go on. So really, the fight is now on for these two up in the top.
I like that, Ree. Signs literally translates to signs. Oh dear.
He's still hot on the heels of P1 though. The question is, can he make it happen?
Do you think the contact was a signs of bad lines? Oh, really?
I think we're probably going to get some helicam shots for the finale of round 13. And you can just see the 909 Mercedes brake slip, see whether Opel's following, and it looks as though the McLaren's got a pretty decent run there. Mercedes has realised that, perhaps on the defensive, but then going back out, it's going to make another move here. Wow, incredible racing between P1 and P2. For the final sector, as the 909 Mercedes AMG's LED screen flashes 001. Wears that crown as we are closing into the final moments. Round 13 here, Paul Ricard still in the slipstream. A little bit late on the brakes there perhaps, and that may have cost him some momentum for this final corner. It has indeed. It's going to give some comfort to the Mercedes there. Yes, I am a fan of the McLaren though. McLaren is a beautiful sounding car, as well as the Mercedes. But the McLaren is a really nice sounding car. Kind of got that V8 growl, the McLaren, with a little bit more top end frequencies. Big fan of the McLaren. Purpose-built GT3 weapon as well.
Is it the 720S in this game, or the 650?
650 for group. Sorry, GT4s. 720s for GT3s. Well, he's got a second and a half worth of time to make up if he wants to make that happen. We're just at the 5 minutes of racing and left to go.
Perhaps 3 more laps of racing.
Left to go for round 13 here at Paul Ricard. Let's have a look at everyone else. We've got I Wilco in the 405 Ferrari, the most beautiful GT3 on track, making his way up to T1 here at Paul Ricard, and he's getting more and more time behind that wheel, getting himself familiar with it all, which is lovely to see. And who can look at the 316 Lexus, Mr. Tokyo Drift, Mr. Pit Connoisseur, as he is at P9.
Wow, Lollipop only 0.3 seconds off Lampy. Lampy may have made a mistake through this.
God, the top four, they're really fighting it out, aren't they? Now 0.7 in slipstream position P1. We've got just under 3 minutes, what, a lap or two, 2 laps to go, 3 laps, maybe 2 or 3 laps left to go.
Lollipop only 0.4. So we're in the time zone now where Lampy's tyres are probably pretty gone, judging from his first stint.
Interesting indeed. Can the 460 McLaren
gaining a lot of time through those corners?
He is indeed. He's right up the tail end of the 51 Ferrari in the podium position as we come to the final 2 minutes here of 1:13 as they enter the long Brands Hatch straight. Look at this.
Trying to find a way up the inside. Woohoo! Lampy just that little bit wide.
Got the inside line. Oh my good god. Lampy might have a better run. out though to exit that very long cambered right-hander.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
One final lap.
Final lap underway. Okay, so Lampy has lost that position, bless him. Finding his way into P4 now as Gnarly.
Lucan with another drive-through for track limits.
That's 2 drive-throughs. He don't care, he's just pushing, having fun. That's what we like to see. 409.5 of a tenth of a second away from Gnarly. Kobe 936, now 704 as this is the final assault. 44 seconds left to go. We do have a back marker to contend with. Lucan.
It may have actually benefited the 909 Mercedes there having the tow.
Oh my good god. Up to the final.
Oh, looking around the outside
of the race. Are we gonna see some podium changes? To the final sector here for round 13 of Paul Ricard. McLaren looking for the inside line on the Mercedes GT3.
I do believe the Mercedes is better tuned for the extra downforce over the McLaren.
Oh, look at that! Right,
couldn't quite get the switch.
He wanted it, but it appears as though the Mercedes takes P1.
Leader has finished the race.
Kobe in P2, and McLaren looks like he is going to take a podium today as he comes up to the final point here at Paul Ricard and takes Bronze Cup in podium-ish, P3-ish. And Lampy in the 51 Ferrari taking a P4, which is still good for the points. Jammer next across that line as he comes up to the final corner.
Jammer.
P5. Tivo to take a P6 today. Number 78 Lexus.
Flashing the lights.
Yeah, that's what we like to see. Giving everyone on YouTube a flash. Cracking race. Well done for the hours worth of a race. Taking P6. And Matev with another flash. The absolute legend in the 420 Porsche. Taking a P7. And Mamster also crossing that line in P8. Lucan P9. With 30 seconds left to go. Not able to put that drive-through penalty down. And I will go P10. Hankin, unfortunately, leaving the race in P11. But that's been a cracking race, and as per usual, we are tread to some action.
We've got some
throughout.
Got some donuts from Kobe as well.
Oh, we do we?
Indeed. Out of turn 1.
So, let's see some celebratory donuts here at Paul Ricard to end the round 13 stream for NXTGEN Season 4 GT3 World Tour. I want to thank you for everyone that's been involved in the chat. Thank you, Rue. I want to thank Christian for helping in on co-coms.
Oh,
Hope you've enjoyed it.
it's been very, very fun race to do. Very action-packed.
Has indeed, as per usual. Always eventful to the final lap, which is something I've noticed with these races. It's always great to watch. But thank you to everyone at home. I do appreciate it, and we'll see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.
See you all, everyone.